Hello and welcome back to the Reapers, another tactical replay today. So, last mission was Metal Campaign Day 3, and it was, well, a real belter of a mission, to be honest. We did really well, so I'm chuffed with that. Let me give you a quick reminder of what we're doing. Load of blue guys here. We have 3 targets. One was that, I think there. It was a nuclear silo of some kind that needed bombing. And we also had a bunch of Challenger tanks that needed bombing. We also had a runway here that we decided to bomb that you can't see. An SA-6 here that we decided to kill. This is all defended by this SA-10 here, which reaches kind of all the way out to the mountains. And we've got red respawning, red fort starting there. Okay, so let's play that through, and I'll roughly just... Oh, and another mission. We had some Challenger tank crews to rescue here. So, very briefly, Dove and... I've forgotten the other guy. I've got so many new guys. Another guy, sorry, I've forgotten your name, flew to rescue the tank crews. Cap went on a super Cap mission. My mission was to kill the nuclear bunker, and I'll talk about that in a second. And then all of the rest, including a couple of hogs, 4 F5s and Riddler, went to kill this mission here. So a couple of hogs were going to kill the Challenger tanks. F5s were going to give cover and generally be bait. Harrier was going to destroy the runway here, timed so that he goes in just after the missiles from Riddler, which is an Su-25, which is a $40 million plane, so we trusted him, who's going to take out the SA-6. So it's all had to be timed well and organised and everything like that. Let's talk about my mission because it's the coolest. So basically, I'm Cap, hello, and my mission was to bomb in as fast as I possibly could in my Viggen, maximum Mach, to get to this target here, to put bombs on it to kill it. It was essential that we do that, and we had to do that before the Reds could get up to defend it. Now the rules are the Reds can't respond, they can't launch their jets until I've passed a line. Unfortunately we can't see where the line is. It's going to be about a couple of miles ahead of where I am. Then these jets can scramble, and then it's going to be a race from my Viggen to the target, and then the red fort to the target, whoever can get there first. Now I did some modelling, and I thought I could beat it. I thought I could get there first. What I hadn't factored in is that the Reds might take an F-18. The F-18, as we've proved in our drag race videos, is not the fastest plane in the world, but when it's stripped down with no tanks, it is still a very fast plane. And I lost, basically. And we'll talk about that in a second. Right, we can speed up now. Right, so we're going to launch very shortly. And we've launched. So I'm across the border now. So the Reds did not cheat. They waited until I crossed the border, which is basically now. I think it's that mountain ridge there. So they're scrambling now. So their F-18 is up. Cap is now burners on. And let's see how fast we can get this Viggen. Now bear in mind it's fully loaded. I've dumped my tank, but I've got 16 big bombs on that thing. And so, but I still managed to make it supersonic, and it just shows the absolute power of the Viggen. Can go supersonic with bombs on. Almost nothing else can do that. So it shows how useful it is, and this is a great example of what the Viggen was used for, was designed for, to get to a target low, undetected, through SAMs as fast as possible before anything else could react. As for distance, now let me pause that there so we get a distance check. They were closer. They are 28 miles at that point. I am, I don't know actually. I'm 28 miles, exactly the same. Right, I should have made this then. I should have won this, so what went wrong? Right, let's speed up. This is genuinely intriguing. So, let's get this. So, it's even Stevens basically. I've got a head start because I had, notice how I came down from the mountains. I had potential energy on my side. I'm converting into speed now. However, I've got drag problems. I've got bombs. This F-18 had problems because it had to go from a cold start, obviously, from a standstill. So it's got to get his energy up, and he's struggling at 350 knots. So he's really struggling. So my distance to the target now is 18 miles. His distance to the target is 19. Oh. So it really is, it really is going to be a close one. And I'm pounding. I'm on stage 3 burn now because I know at this point I'm getting locked up by this dude. I've got an RWR in my Viggen here, and I can tell not what's locking him up, but what angle I'm being locked at. And I can tell the angle I'm being locked at that must have been an F-18 because the SA-10 was at my 2 o'clock and the lock was coming from 1 o'clock. I'm at 700 knots with full bombs. Look at that power. That F-18 can barely do 700 knots. Now, he's fired at me at 14 miles. Oh, and the speeds we're chasing, the speeds we're closing at, that's probably almost it is slightly out of range, but as long as I keep running at that missile, it will be a kill. So close, I'm so close, I'm 4 miles. Huge decision to make at this point. Do I go for it? Do I go for it? Do I not go for it? I can see these smoke trails in the missiles, and I've bailed. So that's interesting. Now, could I have got to the target and survived? I really don't know. Maybe. Let's kind of play that through. I would be on target about now. So I would be on target about now if I'd have gone through. That missile would have been kind of about there. I think I very could have possibly made that and put the bombs down, dumped the racks, stage 3 out of there. I'd call that a 50-50. So it's a real close one. Note in the actual mission as well, I had this S300 here going batshit crazy, firing missiles. For some reason, it hasn't come through on the TAC view, but I had missiles out for me there as well. This is an interesting talking point, and I do these debriefs not really so the viewers can have fun. It's actually for my own guys, so I can basically teach them, and they can learn from experience. And I insist that was the right call, especially when we're in a campaign like this where losing a jet is very bad. I've got $10 million worth of responsibility in that jet. If I get shot down, I lose that money for the team. So a tough one. It really is a tough call, but I always consider conservative decisions to be the best in the long run. That's in general life and in DCS, so I think that's the right decision, and hence I would expect all you guys to do the same. If you're charging towards an F-18, it's firing missiles at you and you can't fire missiles back, don't run into the bloody missiles. Use your brain, be conservative, turn around. Just turn around. Left roll on your control stick, back on your control stick, throttle forward, all you've got to do, and you see how easy it is? That's done, and we can all do that. It's just mental arithmetic and attitude we've got to do, and I'm desperately trying to drum it into my guys how important it is to stay alive. We've obviously got a whole new team at the moment because of the big exodus, so all this needs drumming in. Now we've got a pretty sensible F-18 pilot here. He can see he's got a Viggen. He's chasing. He knows he can't catch a Viggen up. Viggen is the fastest thing out there. I'm going to get 800, 900 knots clean. Nothing can beat me. That's why I took the Viggen, because it's so fast. So that is an interesting talking point there. Viewers, in the comments, let me know your decision. What you think? Should I have gone and risked it and bombed it and possibly got shot down? Did I do the right thing by being conservative and helping the team more long term? What do you think? Basically. Right, F-18 does exactly what it's supposed to now. He doesn't chase the pretty target in the air. He goes and takes the tactical target, which is these. Interesting comment here. Could I have run away and kept my bombs and then come back afterwards? Probably, but I would have no, because we don't have GCI, I would have no idea when it was clear again from the target, so from this F-18. So realistically, no, I couldn't have come back. It never would have been safe, basically. So I had to go out. That was, at least that bit was the right decision to make. Right, whoops, so let's carry on. Right, pause there. Riddler does his job beautifully. Puts missiles over 30 miles, probably 35 miles away when he took that shot at this SA-6. Beautiful, absolute perfection. And that's what the Su-25T is designed for. Pump long-range missiles, turn around and run away. Good, mature flying, conservative flying. He's not going in to try and he's still got ordnance on that plane. He's not going in to use it. He's not giving in to the emotion of the moment. He's turning round, following orders, going home. It's an expensive plane. We can't afford to lose it. Can't be a cowboy. And then this is the beauty of a campaign like this. You have to fly properly. It does matter if you die. You can't just turn up and go and shoot F-15s down. So it sorts the real pilots from the noobs out, basically. So another good example. Missiles out, turns around, goes home, and those missiles are going to go and do their job. That's his job done. Now let's look at A-10s and F-5s. Now at this point I should say Blues were very lucky. The Reds had another crap day, completely their own fault. I don't know what was wrong with Gringle. For some reason it took him 10 minutes to take off. Chaos crashed 3 times when taking off, completely his own fault. So we were lucky. These MiGs here should already be fighting this Su-25 and F-5s. So hey, I'm happy because it means I can complete my mission. That's fine. F-5s are kind of doing their thing. They're here to be a buffer at the end of the day to protect the A-10s. They know they're in a world of pain because they know that there's going to be F-18 charging at them. My only concern was, if you remember in the briefing, I said you've got to be down in the mountains doing pop-ups in the mountains. You can't be sitting up above the mountains because you're just going to get sniped by AIM-7s. Luckily, this guy, Casual Fighter, kind of loses SA here. He should be pumping these F5s full of AIM-7s at the moment, and he's not. He dilly-daddles. I'll see a lot of this. He's not really doing anything. Just kind of flying around. So I don't know why, but it helps us. It allowed us to complete our mission, so I'm happy with it. SA6 is out, a pair of them. For dude sees them, turns away, that's fine. My job is to pick up on all mistakes. Dude made a mistake. He kept his, even during combat, and this is combat, he kept his 3 fuel tanks on. That will lead to his death. I say it every time. Guys don't listen to me and they die. Waste our money. So, you're in combat, dump your fuel tanks. You have to do that. I'm not giving you a choice, it's something you have to do. Note one of the F5 just went down. It wasn't a death, he disconnected, so we will not count his death in money loss. King is here. King really should have seen that. It's a bit disappointing. What that range is that? Yeah, maybe not. 9 miles. 8 miles on a flank. I would have been disappointed in myself if I wouldn't have seen that. A guy right on my nose. 5 miles away. Big flanking Hornet. In there. Should have pumped a couple of missiles in by now. But so King's got to wake up a bit. Got to get a bit more SA about him. I mean, you could argue that he might have thought it was an F5 because there was supposed to be an F5 around there. But you've really got to check everything out. 3 miles. That's a big block on your screen at 3 miles. Very, very lucky here. F-18 gets bored, turns away. And that's the wrong thing to say. He's doing his job. Actually, not too badly. He's come in and he's come out. That is what I always teach. That's the good thing to do. If he'd come in and span around in circles, he would have got shot down. So he's done his good job. For whatever reason, he couldn't get a lock on the F5s, couldn't get the shot out. So he's done what I teach, which is to come out 10 miles, then turn back in. So we shan't criticise that. Helicopter number 1 is on his way. Nearly at the place to rescue the Challenger crews. Dove's taking his time, but it's not Dove's fault. That Huey, now with its crappy new engine, probably can't get above those mountains. Has to go around the long way and has to go 80 knots, so there's nothing he can do about that. Seethor, good man. Probably our best, strongest fighter overall at the moment. Pumping 5 Mavericks on salvo into these tanks. Beautiful work. Just done everything right as usual, basically. Talon, notice the timing. The missiles, the Ka-50s have just struck, and Talon is in from his flanking pass. The communication between Su-25 and this guy, perfect. Now he's in for his run. If this guy had come in too early, he would have been shot by the SA-10s. Good work. F5s, they're doing fine. They're doing their job. F-18, I can't really... we're lucky he's not aggressive. However, he's got an expensive airframe to protect. He's got responsibilities. He doesn't want to be in there dogfighting F5s, and I don't blame him. So he's coming out, he's going to turn around and then come in for a nice big run. That's exactly how you should use that Hornet, so that's good. This MiG-21, it's not particularly valuable. The Reds can just throw it in there, throw it into a dogfight. So Grinkle just burning in, absolutely fine. That's the right thing to do. So there's a lot of good stuff today, not much bad stuff, a lot of good stuff, so I'm pretty happy with that. Talon has made an error here. No, he isn't. No, there's the runway, look, it's fine. Seethor, another missile in, that is an AGM-65 Delta, infrared Maverick, another kill, thump, and we're going to merge here. Tiny criticism, maybe the F5 should have been protecting the Harriers. It's pretty tiny criticism though, to be honest. I'm not too bothered about that. And the F-18 merges and finds easy pickings. There's an AIM-9 out on his backside. Thump! Very lucky the Talon did survive that. And he put 8 beautiful Mark 82 retards in the runway. Perfect run by Talon. You know, unlucky to get shot at the end of the day. But really good work. Really impressed. Casual fighter thinks obviously he's dead because he's up in smoke. So he leaves him. That's fair enough. His bombs are already out. There's no reason to waste anything on that Harrier now, to be honest. So it's good decision, good thinking. F-18 checks his position, coming back into the fray now for a good long 10-20 mile run. That's all acceptable stuff. Harrier's heading out with reduced engine function. Notice by this time Cap and notice one of the A-10s didn't make it up in the air. It's because he had disconnection problems. Cap and Riddle are already back to base, basically. We're not loitering. Remember what I say, in and out, in and out. Don't loiter, not even for 1 second. The F5s can loiter until the A10's gone, then they've all got to go. That's the only loitering. Missile. This was a little bit disappointing. The Just Dude here has the... first of all, you can see he's very slow. He's in combat and he's very slow, very dangerous because he's got his tanks on. Bad, bad, bad. Slap on the wrist. Don't do that again. Next, Casual Fighter's put an 8-mile Fox. That's a good Fox out. Now, Just Dude has the advantage of that is a big smoked missile that aims everything. He can see that. He knows he's getting locked. He's got a modern RWR. He knows he's getting fired on. He's got a modern RWR. He can see a whopping great smoke trail in front of him, although he was technically blinded by the sun. But still, we can see that smoke trail. There's no reason to run into that missile at all. It's just lack of experience. It's flaring, chaffing. It's not going to help. The only way to beat a missile like this: bags off, pull the stick left, pull it back, and do a 9G turn with full burns on. That's all you can do. The pussyfooting around with flares and chaff is not going to help you. So it's weak, very weak. Got to see an improvement on dodging missiles. I will be doing a video series about dodging missiles, but it's a bit further down the works. We've got other stuff to do at the moment first. But yeah, got to be more aggressive there and assertive. And then what the F5's job is to do is to get shot at by the Hornet. That's great, get shot at, but then turn away and run into the mountains, and you can pretty much match the Hornet's speed with a dry F10. With a clean F5. You could lead him into the mountains. If he's stupid, he'll follow you, use all his missiles up, and that's the end of that Hornet, basically. So we've got to do it right. Anyway, Grinkle's mincing. Hasn't found himself a target, luckily. I'm going to speed that up. See, they'll spend a little bit more time on target than I would like. Would be nice if he was out by now, to be honest. He's out now. You see, I said get out. That's me. I've said get out. Don't be there anymore. A bit annoyed that I have to say that. They should know that themselves, but I guess that's my responsibility at the end of the day. He's dumped all his ordnance. You can see that's the right thing to do, and he's going home. So good. Very important that people follow orders, otherwise missions don't get done. Not sure why he's turning back into combat now, but he is. Now, F-18's put him... hang on, missile out. 2 missiles out, so 2 dogfights going on. King is mincing. Some of our guys do something called mincing. Mincing is flying relatively slow, relatively high, non-aggressively, just kind of looking around, like if you were flying a Cessna, just going for a nice, view of the mountains. That's called mincing, and that's what gets you shot. Tactical flying would be on the ground, 500-600 knots, low, so you're not silhouetting yourself. If you're up high and you're mincing, you're a target. If you're going to be up high, you have to be going extremely fast to be safe, or at least manoeuvring. You can't be going straight like this. It's non-aggressive flying. Got to be aggressive, down, looking up for targets. Okay. Otherwise, this will happen every game. You'll get shot down every time if you mince. Now the F-18's been caught mincing here. Essentially, he's come in for a kill, which is very dangerous for an F-18. Remember, he should be shooting them from 10-20 miles away. He doesn't want to be dogfighting, especially with an A-10. I've recently done a video about how World War II fighters are so much better than modern fighters in combat, and it's absolutely true. You never get in a fight with a Mustang if you're in an Eagle or a Hornet. You will die every time. So this is, and the same thing comes to an A10. A10 wind loading is so much better than an F-18. You can't beat physics. It turns tighter and probably quicker than a Hornet, and he's going to get beaten in a dogfight, as we're probably about to see. As a missile out, he was lucky that Seagull just missed. He asked too much of the missile, too much right to left aspect. That fighter is too fast to hit at the moment. So he's going to exit the fight. Now, the thing to do, if you know you're in a fight with an A10, burn away. Don't turn around and try and dogfight it. Just burn away, get away 20 miles, turn around and kill it like your plane's designed to do. Don't try and dogfight the Mustang or the A10. He does go away, but he gets excited. He doesn't get far away enough. That A10 will chase you down. You've got to get away 10, 20 miles. Got to use the benefits of what you've been gifted with your plane against what the hostile got. In this case, the hostile's got the maneuverability. You've got the speed and the range. That's what you've got. You've got to use that. Thoroughly outturned, thoroughly outdone by the A10, and thump. Deservedly shot down. Errors there. Errors from King. He was mincing. Errors from F-18. He came in for a dogfight with a dogfight he couldn't win. Don't do that. Just do your ins, your outs, your ins, your outs. And then you'll win every time. Cool. Simple as that. Everyone just RTBs now. Grinkle has a bit of a tangle but doesn't shoot anyone down. Poor old Choppers. So what happened to the Mi-8 was he lost his engines. He did something wrong as far as I'm aware. Lost his engines. Then Huey came in to recover the tank crew that he had got. Oh, that's the end of the attack view. The Huey then goes away, comes back to base. The Hornet hunts him down and kills him. The Hornets respawn. That's as simple as that. 2 or 3 mistakes. Lots of good stuff. Happy about that. And we got loads of money as well. Hope you enjoyed that and we'll see you later.